So I'm the general manager for the Adobe Connect business, and so that includes the R&D team as well as the product and product management, as well as our channel sales group. So I have both technical and management background, and I've been with Adobe close to about 8 years now. And prior to Connect, I took over the Connect business about a couple of years ago. And prior to that, I was part of the lifecycle team as part of enterprise business. So I've had a multitude of different experiences. Prior to Adobe, I was actually in a startup running engineering for a startup company that did a lot of web publishing, and then right after that, I joined Adobe. Yeah, Adobe Connect is a category-leading web conferencing product, and we have customers in enterprises and government, obviously. And so, a couple of things about Connect who are not familiar with it. One is that it's Flash-based. So the nice thing about it is that there's no issues with entering a meeting. So if you invite somebody to a meeting, people can enter the meeting without any downloads. Other thing is that because of the Adobe heritage, there's a lot of interactivity with each meeting, and it's key because part of what we're trying to do with web conferencing is trying to, in some cases, replace what would require a person-to-person meeting. And so you want to make sure that you're able to deliver a lot of interactivity. So that's something that Connect excels in. And the third thing about Connect is also we give our customers, both in enterprise and government, an option about how they want to deploy the software. So you've clearly heard a lot about cloud computing and the availability in the cloud. Connect's always been architected to offer that. It also gives you an option to run it yourself. So if you're a customer who wants to own the solution within your enterprise, you could do that as well. And we also have a managed services offering. And lastly, it's a common platform where it grows with your needs. So if you start out using it for, let's say, video conferencing, or maybe you're trying to use it just for training. But as you grow with it, it provides you solutions for web meetings, for e-learning, as well as web seminars. Connect itself started off as a product called Breeze and as part of Macromedia. And the origins of the product is it started with an acquisition by a company called Presidia. And initially it was used primarily for training and virtual classrooms. But over time, the team saw the opportunity that was evolving with web conferencing and the fact that you could make very interactive and engaging meetings. And so that it evolved into also what we're trying to do for the government in terms of just having something that's secure and compliant, and it's grown to now being a category leading vendor that includes a lot of these use cases, so including e-learning and webinars as well as secure and compliant web conferencing. So government's been one of our high growth areas for us within Connect, and we've had tremendous success. And so we find that in terms of usage, it's a variety of different usage. So it's starting from things like e-town halls, sort of electronic versions of town hall meetings, to it in one extent to training your police departments for local governments, to webcasts for the president and secretary of state. To the other extreme is being used in the Department of Defense for combat situations. So we've seen a whole spectrum of use, and probably the best example of that, the most prominent example for us is the DISA example, which is within the DoD, and it's used for command and control capabilities, providing that for the field. And you look at the number of users here, it's about 5.3 million users, 24/7 service. And the way it started out was an interesting story. It started out as being a second option for customers to use the use in terms of government usage, and what they found out was that the adoption sort of took off, and it's a testament to the ease of use of the product and the fact that you can get in with no downloads, and to the point where people were using Connect over the competing product, and they basically shut down the competing product because no one was using it. And to the point where now it's grown to being a mission critical collaboration tool that's used for key events, including most recently as part of the Haiti relief. And so we've got this being used in a lot of cases, things that we didn't anticipate, but it's a critical use of our technology for these different uses. The last count, we've had over 350,000 registered users and growing at a rapid pace. We're extremely proud of what Connect's been able to do in the DISA use case. Other examples of this are the U.S. Department of State, where it's being used to stream live meetings throughout the world. And this happens where the Secretary of State or the President more recently, for any of his briefings that happen there, they're actually distributed throughout the world, and we're reaching up to 20,000 users a week at this point. And again, this is an example of where we're making a real difference in terms of how different countries view what we do. Other examples of this include the Department of Transportation and the use in the Federal Highway Administration, and these are agencies that coordinate what different states do in terms of standards for our U.S. roads. And again, this is an area where it's used for coordination across multiple agencies. So there are multiple examples where we see Connect being used in both the DoD, federal, civilian, as well as state and local governments, and extremely excited about the prospects going forward.